Hey guys, so let me see. I'm just gonna check that I'm still streaming. I should be. Yes, it says live for 15 seconds. Says that I'm live. Can I see myself here? Yes, I can. I'm actually gonna leave this open. There's a little bit of a delay. Uh, so if I can't see the top chats, then there we go. You can see in the top right corner here is a mess. Um, and that's how I start every trip. This weekend, I've been so excited uh, for this upcoming weekend. It's my birthday, and I'm going on a weekend fishing trip up in the mountains of New Hampshire. So first thing I always do is I want to make sure that I'm not going to be miserable, right? We go out to the mountains, we go camping, hiking to have a good time, right? You don't want to be miserable, and there's a few things that you can do to make sure these things are things that I do to make sure that I'm not going to be absolutely miserable and I'm going to enjoy my time out there. So one of the things that I do is I I look at the weather. Actually, just to give you a little frame of reference, see, this is my first time really live, not a test live. So I'm going to open up here. What do I move this? Move this down. Nope, almost there. Nope, that's not what I wanted. You know what? Maybe if I make this tiny, I gotta make this smaller. As there we go. So I'll put myself up in that corner. Nice. This isn't so bad. Um, and now I'll go to. This is how I was trying to fix the issue, but this is a flat mountain pond. All right, it's beautiful. Look at that. Excellent photography there. Gorgeous pink and blue skies. Um, that guy, he's got it made. So it's just a couple of pictures of where it is. Uh, Something that I like to do is go into my maps, right? As you can see, this is where we start. I'm going to start at that little cross section there, and it's like 5 miles, 4.28 miles. That's like nothing, right? That's 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, uh, up 1,200 feet. I mean, relatively speaking, that's not that bad. So this is really going to be a trip of leisure and not necessarily, okay, I've got 5 days. Let me walk 10 miles a day for the next week and a half, right? I do like those trips, but this isn't going to be one of those. So things are just going to be a little different. Um, it, here's this is a big factor too. Um, but double click here. The shelter. The shelter's here. Obviously, that's the lake, that blue thing. It's a pond, and we're gonna be fishing. So they stock this lake or this pond with trout every year, and they do it with a helicopter. They just fly over it, drop all the fish. Probably terrifying experience for the fish, but hey, what are you gonna do? It's important to enjoy yourself, right? To have a good time. Um, Something that I like to do is I like to check the weather ahead of time. So I am leaving Friday morning, and I'm going to be there Friday all day, Saturday all day, and Sunday all day. So we are still a few days out. I don't know what all of Sunday is going to look like. Those rain showers might go away. They might migrate onto Saturday. I have no idea. But ultimately, this is really nice. Like these temperatures, I always look at the lower end in the 50s, right? Um, so this website, what we can do is change the elevation, right? So this is the summit at 6288 is the summit. we're not going to be that high, right? If we go back to the topo map, what's our elevation? About 2,000 feet. And this is just south of the Whites. So that's about right here, right? 3,000 feet, that's accurate. So it's going to be warm. Wow, even at night in the 50s. So that's really important to know ahead of time because all right, now I'm going to go back. I already showed you guys this, showed you that. Beautiful picture. All right. Now full screen. Bring that back up. Okay, so now that we know it's going to be really warm, I mean that actually changes things. I didn't notice it was going to be that warm ahead of time. So pre-planning, I've got all of my cold weather gear, and I'll go through that now. Preparing, you always want to prepare for about 10 degrees less. So the low was upper 50s. I want to prepare for mid 40s um, because cold is really not fun. Uh, so going over the things that can ruin a trip is temperature that we've been talking about, right? Cold, or if you're too hot, that's also not a good thing. But it's easier to cool down if you have water. So not being too cold. I've got a bunch of my crap laid out on the floor, on my bed. That's just what I do. I make a mess and try to organize things. I don't know how the best way I'm going to do this right now is, though. Um, before I jump ahead of myself, so temperature can ruin a trip. What else can ruin a trip? Bugs. I mean, you get eaten alive by bugs. That's you'd be miserable. You're like nothing's gonna want to make me go home than a cloud of mosquitoes or black flies. Even the ones that just like fly inside your ear and they just stop. Oh, this is where I want to be. Well, I don't want you there. And if you've got a group of people, everyone's gonna be complaining. It's no. So you want to prepare for the bugs. Sunburn. If you've had a really bad sunburn, you could be miserable, right? So you want to prepare for the sun, especially if the weather looks like it's going to be nice, which it does. Looks like there's going to be some sun. That's great. So all prepared for it. Got to prepare for the sun. Um, you don't want to be hungry. If you're hungry, then you're going to be miserable, and that's not how you want to enjoy a trip. So bring enough food. Obviously, water. That's really important too. And if it's going to be hot. So if you got a way to clean your water, to drink your water, to eat your food, to stay warm, then you can really enjoy yourself. So now I want to take some time and go over what I want to bring. So maybe I'll utilize this camera here. Let's see. I don't know how this is going to work. Typically, what I'll like to do is. Oh wait, this camera isn't working. Why? Why aren't you working? Is it working now? Not yet. Does it show? Is it showing that it's frozen? Okay, UVC camera. Just a second. No, maybe I have to delete it. There's got to be a better way. Yes, I want to remove the device. Now I want to add a new one. Okay, for now. Not that one. UVC. Okay, here we go. This is the camera. It's pretty large. I don't think I want it to be that large right now. All right. Okay. So on to the next step. um, cold. So at the end of it, you want to make sure that you can stay warm, right? So if it's a warm day, but the night gets cold, so I am most likely going to bring my sleeping bag. I don't know which one I want to talk in front of, which camera. Again, did I mention as I'm kicking my silverware? Did I mention this is my first real live stream? So this is the bag that I'm most likely going to bring. I've gone on trips before where I've been cold, and it's basically like a survival trip. I don't want to survive this weekend. I want to get fat. So this is my sleeping bag. It's rated to 15 degrees. Uh, so most likely I'll be sleeping with half of it on, kind of just half thrown across my body because it's going to be so hot. But I'd rather be too warm. So we can just throw that aside. I'll put it away later. Um, Again, at the end of it, that's one of the most important pieces because if you're cold, if I get cold, I can just crawl into my sleeping bag. But it's more than just a sleeping bag. I also need a sleeping pad. So I'm going for comfort. One thing that I usually don't do is bring things that are only comfort materials because most of the time I'm like, I want to travel as light as possible. And this time, I don't care. I'll carry an 80-pound backpack for 4 miles, whatever. So I'm not going light here. So I've got a sleeping pad here. This inflates. And it's a really cool one where I don't have to use my lungs. I've got like an inflate bag. Maybe I'll go over that later if anyone's interested. But that's really cool. I've got the inflatable pad, and on top of that, I also use a uh, accordion style high density foam, and that is going to be it's going to work as an insulator as well as comfort. Right, it's soft. It's a lot softer than the hard ground. For this trip, as I showed you, there's a shelter. It's like a lean-to, sort of, where it's got a roof, it's got three walls, and an open face. So shelter from wind and rain, from the bugs. That's another story. Uh, Also, for comfort, and I actually this is worth it every single time, no matter what trip that I'm going on, is a pillow. Right? It's got a simple uh, thing here, like if you were blowing up a pool toy. All right, like one of those tires. See? You snap it shut, and that is a really comfortable pillow. Uh, that for me, I can't sleep unless I've got my head supported and it's comfortable, right? Next thing, that's the warmth. That's the most important warmth. Um, but for this trip, I'm going to be wanting to have a fire. No, I don't want to spend my entire trip in a sleeping bag. Um, so that's where clothing comes in. Actually, what am I? Bring my clothing. That's warm, 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 warm. This is how live streaming works. I guess it's not always super entertaining energy. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe that's how it goes, right? So this, I don't know. I don't know if I want to bring this. I was planning on it if it was going to be in the 40s. Um, this is typical beanie. I don't know if I'm going to bring that, but I might. Gloves, another thing. I'm leaning against bringing the gloves. Uh, this this is like a neck gaiter. This one's made of wool. I most likely will bring this either way because it can double as a hat, right? You kind of do that, put it on your head. It's a hat, right? So it functions as a beanie, also a neck warmer if I want, or if I want to sleep in, I can use it as a eye mask, whatever. So I'll probably bring this regardless. These are warm socks. These particular ones are made from what's it's an animal. Yeah, it looks like a lot alpaca. It's alpaca socks, very warm and very lightweight too. I have a scale behind me. Okay, how much does it weigh? I have some heavy ones too. Okay, just over 1 ounce. So that's super light. Throw it all there. Huh. Thermals. Everybody knows what thermals are. It's just base layer. This has like a waffle grid pattern and it's very thick. I've used this to stay warm, partially in like Alaska, things places where it gets really chilly. I mean, even New Hampshire. New Hampshire gets real cold. So I don't know if I'm gonna bring this. This is a fleece jogging pants. Again, layers are super important. Don't know if I'm gonna bring those. I may. Just why not? Because I'm not worried about weight. If it comes down to it, I have it. Um, for shoes, I just bought these. Okay. Um, these are Merrells. And what's nice about these Merrells is that they're super light. Not my target here, but it just happens to be that way. They have, can you see in there? It's like a net, right? I go inside the shoe. Useless footage. Uh, so it's really light. If they get, these will get wet. You know, if it rains, my feet will get soaked. But the plus side to easily getting your feet wet is that they dry easily as well. So I can walk into the lake, the pond, with these shoes and walk out, and they'll be dry within a couple of hours in the sun, maybe not even. Um, I've never worn these on a trip before. I just got them, so I can do a review afterwards. Maybe even I'm gonna have plenty of time. I might just do it by the pond, sitting there, right? Do a review. What do I think on the way in? So that's those. Went over that. Okay, we went over warmth. All right, the sun. This is a really easy one. A way to protect yourself against real bad sunburns. I tend to to stick away. I lean away towards massive amounts of sunscreen. So ah, here you go. So I have this. It's nice to sit down and not have to like kneel on your feet to sit on your feet. Um, this is my Serengeti hat. Okay, so I wear it this way. It's got a really wide brim, so full face protection. So glasses. I don't have my glasses up here, but those will be coming with me. Also, it's got this tail that covers the neck, and with this, really, I don't need sunscreen up here. Okay, I am bringing a wool T-shirt, so this is comfortable in the sun. It's comfortable. I mean, and it doesn't stink. So if it gets colder, I could just throw something else on, and keep this closest to my skin because it is wool. It's naturally antimicrobial, so it's not going to smell. And over the 3 days, I'm just going to wear this. That's what it is. Um, and that's going to provide some sun protection. I'm not going to need to put anything underneath. this. But that leaves my arms exposed. I don't want to expose my arms because the sunburn there hurts. I don't want anything to hurt. I want to have fun. So that's where these sleeves come in. I don't know what they're called. Maybe sun sleeves. I really like this one because it covers, I mean, everything, right? It's probably made for fishing, maybe anything. Outdoor research will probably tell you whatever. Use it for whatever you want. So it covers the entire arm, right? This is SPF 50, so no problem there. Protected. Good. Now I don't need sunscreen. I don't need to get like this thick, gross, nasty stuff all over my face, all over my body, and oily, gross. I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I don't want anything to do with that. It's just easy. It's easy to wear these things. I wear them all the time. Even like this morning, I had them on my left hand because I was driving, and the sun was on the left side, so I was wearing them. Um, I didn't go over these yet. This is just a simple pair of wool socks, very thin. So this is gonna be. I'm gonna bring these. I might bring the warm ones. Probably will bring the warm ones because especially since I'm not having boots, they're just gonna be like the shoes. So that's coming. Um, bugs. Let's talk about the bugs. So, main thing that I want to do is not get bitten. I don't want anything to fly in where it's not supposed to. It's not welcome. Unconsensual is what that's called. Um, these pants, right? The mosquitoes are, they're going to stop at the legs. They're going to stop here. And because it's loose fitting, there's going to be folds in the fabric, right? Don't jiggle, jiggle. It folds. So they can't get through. I mean, maybe here and there where the fabric is touching the skin, the mosquitoes will be able to find their way in. Not impossible, but it's really going to cut down a lot. These also convert, and they're not made of cotton. Which, if you're here and still watching, you probably already know not to bring cotton on outdoor trips. Because I'm going on a lake and I don't care about weight, I'm bringing some trousers, some swimming trousers. People ask you like, why did he call them swimming trousers? What's wrong with New England? Why do they do this? That nobody does that. That's just me. I don't know why I call them trousers. This is also for the bugs or to protect me from the bugs. This is a thicker material. Again, here's like you can see the action of it wrinkling. Uh, it's thicker and it's going to reduce the chances of a bite. I'm going to buy the gloves too. They've got like a glove mittens that go over. This is this combination, this with this hat here. This is my one of my favorites. Right? Easy. So I think everybody should have one of these. Bugs aren't going to be in the face. That is super important. Um, Again, it is miserable. If you've ever been around mosquitoes, then you know you don't want to be in that boat. You know, I've heard people getting bitten in the eyelids. Come on, no, like I'm going home. That's what I would say. I would. So this is huge. That's super important. Saved me a bunch of times. I've also got a rain jacket back there. I mean, you've seen a rain jacket. Okay. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about before I call it is my comfort. You know, so I said I'm going all out. If I were to talk to myself 5 years ago, be like, okay, you're gonna bring this, and that. Like you are out of your mind. I'm not bringing that. It's a weight. It weighs like 5 pounds. 5 pounds over the course of many miles is a lot of pain. So here I want to talk about some of the luxury items. Actually, this is in no way a full comprehensive list, but solar charger. Um, I am going to be vlogging the entire trip and making a video for YouTube and wherever else, but this is super cool. Um, right? It unfolds, and that is a lot of solar energy. Okay, that's a lot of surface area. I'll be able to charge a bunch of things with this. I don't want to throw that one. That could be. I have a mug. This is um, for catching little things so they can't run away. It's also can be used for drinking, or even boiling. I could use this in a fire. It's titanium, so the melting point is like 4,000 degrees. You'd have to throw it into the sun uh, or an atom bomb. Um, so technically, you don't need. I don't need this. I could just drink out of the jet boil or something, but it's nice. It is nice to be able to just kind of plop that there, kind of sit back. It's like a piece of home. Also, this is pretty universal. You need this if you want to eat. I don't want to use my hands, get my hands dirty. This is bear territory. Um, this is total luxury. If this is going to be a fishing trip, so I'm bringing a fishing pole and everything you need to catch trout. If I do catch a trout, I have something to eat off of. This is luxury. You don't need a plate when you're going back there. So if I do catch a fish, I need to I need to gut it. So I'm bringing a knife. It's attached to my backpack back there. Um, but you need to gut it and you need to cook it, right? So that's where this comes in. Super strong. You could take a whole fillet, maybe even two, right? Maybe two there. Um, that's pretty. Look how much it weighs. What do you guys think? If I were to guess, maybe 5 ounces. There it is. The true test. Let's make sure it's not resting on it. Negative 10 ounces. That makes a lot of sense. So four. Can you see that? I can't see it on this little screen. 2.6. 0.6. I don't trust this at all. 4. Okay, that seems reasonable. So 4 ounces. Super luxury item. You don't need that. Um, all right. I was just checking my YouTube chats, things like that. What else am I gonna need? No, this isn't what I'm gonna need. Okay, these are ridiculous, but they're gonna need so much. This is a camp stool. This weighs almost nothing. This is impressively light. I'll weigh this. Come with me. Okay, this is a little. Okay, right. I almost have to balance it. Take 5 ounces, which is not a lot. That weighs as much as the grate. Um, this is a camping chair. That weighs 8 ounces. And a table, 7 ounces. So it is ridiculous. I'm bringing a table, but I am so excited for it because there's nothing like just relaxing, you know? I'll assemble this chair right now. Just relaxing by the water in a chair. Now imagine not having a chair. I mean, yeah, you can sit on the ground, but it's certainly not as comfortable as a chair. Okay. I mean, relatively, this is very straightforward. That's the back, and that's the front. Oh yeah, I need that. Okay, why don't I take it up here so you guys can see what's going on? This takes a little bit of coercion, and there we have it. That's a chair. Let's see what it's like actually sitting in it. Or see this? I don't want to take this. This is heavy. It's like stupid heavy. Right? Ah. See, I could spend some time in this chair, and come the weekend, I will. All right, so it goes really well with the chair. I already mentioned it. That's right, a table. A table goes really well with a chair, and that's back here too. Okay. It's it is truly incredible what companies are able to do and how light they're able to make things. I've only ever put this together once, so bear with me. These feet, okay, those are clearly feet. I know that to be true. All right, so this must be, they've got like little fallen socket joints here. All right, maybe. No, they go this way. Is it? Yes, most likely it goes that way. I'm not sure. Nose is itchy. Okay, yeah, that's it. And then here clicks in. Oh, yes. Look at that. Right? So that is a table. Okay, if I were to get that out of the way, point that down a little bit more. See that? Okay, that's a little off balance. I mean, what do you expect? Right? And my table here, that's that is in most cases completely unnecessary. All right, well that concludes it. I think I've gone over uh, everything in a nutshell. Um, compass, stuff like that. Those are all really important too. Fishing supplies, that's back there. But I mean, we're already like 35 minutes in, so I'm gonna conclude it. Um, Thank you for coming to my channel. Thank you for checking out my video. And if you're going on an adventure, feel free to leave me a comment. I'm more than happy to help. I love talking about this stuff, so have fun.